All right, we are a little behind on these What Sold videos, but in this week, I'm going to be talking about the week of April 4th through April 10th. It was a busy week of rehearsals and just a lot going on at work. So it was another week of pretty average sales, but if you want to see what sold, stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body treatments for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I'm a part-time reseller on a variety of reselling platforms. My full-time job is teaching choir at a high school, and it's a really busy job with a lot of before and after school hours, and it's a busy season with our spring musical and with my spring concert coming up. So there's a lot going on at work, which means I'm not able to do quite as much for my reselling business, which means sales are even less than, what I would like them to be. So two notes about this video in particular that may be distractions. One, my voice is pretty shot because of the fact that I am at school singing and screaming, not like because the kids are bad, but like screaming pitches and reminders like get louder here and that sort of thing. So that's why my voice sounds kind of rough. And secondly, there is a huge fly in this room right now. Like today was beautiful outside, 73 degrees. But that means it's fly season, and somehow a fly got in here, and if you hear loud buzzing, that's what that is. But regardless, we are going to be talking about this week of sales in the beginning of April, which shows you how behind I am. I think I'm on the verge of getting caught up with these What Sold videos, but let's go ahead and talk about what sold in case you have not ever watched one of my What Sold videos or a video of mine in general. Thank you so much for checking me out. I super duper appreciate it. There's the fly. I don't know if you heard it. But if you're brand new, we do a lot of What Sold videos. We do a lot of haul videos, tips and tricks videos, that sort of thing. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, if you enjoy reselling content, definitely make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe so that you are alerted every time I upload new content. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that sold for me, how much I picked it up for, how long it took to sell, all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're starting with April 4th, which was a Monday. And I started off with really good Poshmark sales. Not like really good. They weren't like amazing sales, but a lot of Poshmark sales, which was very nice to see given how rough Poshmark has been. But don't worry, after that I had a 2-day drought, and in total I had 3 $0 sales days on Poshmark. So it's not like all is fixed, but I just happened to have a really good Monday. So the first thing to sell on Poshmark was a 2-piece bundle. The first item was this Vineyard Vines gray short sleeve t-shirt with like a tie-dye whale logo. If you don't know, Vineyard Vines has a little whale as its logo. And so that was in tie-dye, and this was in a men's size small. I got this in, I think, my most recent men's ThredUp Rescue box. I got like a 25-pound or 50-pound box from them. So my cost of goods for everything in that box that was sellable was $3.79. The next thing to sell in this bundle was this Old Navy black and gray raglan sleeve t-shirt in a size small, and that one I also got in a men's ThredUp Rescue box, but like a much older one, for $3. So I believe the person sent me an offer on the bundle of $32, which I very happily accepted because especially that Old Navy piece, I was like, who's going to buy this? It's such a basic piece. So I was happy to get rid of those two pieces for $32. I had $6.79 into those two pieces. So once you factor in Poshmark fees, once you factor in my cost of goods, my net profit on those two items was $18.81. And from here on out, whenever I talk about how much I earned on any given sale, that is my net profit. I've accounted for any platform fees, any cost of goods, and any shipping discounts or discrepancies that may have occurred. So $18.81 is what hit my bank account, and not too bad for two really basic pieces. The next thing to sell was this Cabby blue breakthrough 3-button blazer in a women's size small. That sold for $26. I had about $5 into it. I don't even know exactly for sure how much I had into it at this point because I've had that for quite some time. So I made a profit of $15.80. I will say Cabby has been selling really well for me lately. It's something that I have kind of started to pass on, but I feel like I may revisit it as a brand because, like I said, it's been doing exceptionally well for me. The next thing to sell was another Old Navy piece. It was this pair of bootcut medium wash jeans for men in a size 33. definitely a much older piece, and if I remember correctly, this had a lot of wear to it. Just not something that I would necessarily pick up at the store. But again, I got it in a men's thredUP rescue box, so I had $3 into it. It sold for $15, and that was also with discounted shipping because this was a sale that I made as a result of using Poshmark VA, which is a Chrome extension. It does things like share your closet. It does things like send out offers for likers for you. It can delist and relist. It can do really a lot of different things. But I have it send out offers to likers for me about 4 or 5 minutes after someone likes an item, which is really nice. So I don't have to sit there and like be on my phone all the time. And offers are still being sent out throughout the day. And I will make a handful of sales a week with this tool, which is really nice because I didn't have to, do any of that work, but it's automated. So I made a profit of $7.28 on those jeans. Not a lot, but like I said, they were Old Navy and they were in kind of rough shape, so I'm happy to at least make my money back and then some from that piece from a thredUP box. The next thing to sell was this Ava and Viv black floral v-neck tunic blouse in a size 1X. This also came in a thredUP box, but this was in a bulk mixed box. I think that's what it's called. It was like the 100 or 200 pound women's box. So I sold that for $12. Again, I had $2 into it. I made a profit of $7.05 on that tunic. The next thing to sell was this Facebook Marketplace sale, and it was this vintage Pele Pele, which I had never heard of before, but upon looking up comps, realized that it's a pretty decent brand. So it's Pele Pele Mark Buchanan. It was this red button-up shirt. It had pockets on the chest. It was in a 2XL for men. That had like a couple holes in it, if I remember correctly, but it still sold for $30. I got this shirt when I bought out a local reseller's inventory because she didn't want to resell anymore. And she sold me her stuff for so cheap. I ended up basically buying everything for $1.02 a piece. That was my cost of goods when you averaged out all the pieces that I bought for, how much I purchased the lot for. So I made a profit on that sale of $27.04. So even though, like at first glance, I was like, this shirt does not seem like much, I'm glad it was in the lot. Now I've learned about this brand and I know to at least give it a second glance when I see it in the wild. The next day that we'll talk about is April 5th, which was a Tuesday. 0 Poshmark sales, but I did have 2 eBay sales. The first one being this pair of new with tags, the limited black Cassidy fit wool trousers in a size 8 for women. Those sold for $24. I had $1.80 into those. I'm like trying to remember where I got them. I don't know off the top of my head. I got them somewhere. I feel like in some sort of bulk setting. Actually, I think I know. I think I got them at a local consignment store. And so I made a profit of $21.75 off of those. I'll be honest with you, a lot of like career wear dress pant type things have been selling really well for me lately. So if you've got some in your death pile especially, I would pull those out and start listing them. They're not my favorite thing to source or list, but they are definitely the kind of thing that are a necessity. It's not the most fun thing for people to buy, but when they need it, they need it. And it's one of those things that I think people do like to turn to reselling platforms to look for because it is something that they don't want to have to spend too much money on. The next sale was this worldwide Sportsman blue vintage short sleeve fishing shirt in a size extra large tall. Again, this is something that I got as part of that reseller buyout, so I had $1.02 into it because trust me, this is not something that I would source if I were out in the wild as well, but it was, just part of the big lot, so I had it in my possession. I listed it. It sold for $14.90, and I believe that was an international sale that was a part of the global shipping program, so that was pretty cool that I was able to sell it pretty quickly, even though it wasn't something that I would naturally pick up on my own. And it sold internationally. That was also a promoted sale, which means I pay a little bit more in fees for eBay to kind of, market it a little bit more heavily on their end. And so I made a profit of $10.70. Fishing shirts do well, so, I'm glad that I listed it, made some money. I'm always okay with making money. On Mercari, I sold this Nike Pro dry fit gray short sleeve compression shirt. It had like a mesh panel and it was in a men's size large. That sold for $15. This was something that I got in a recent wholesale pallet. I had $3.92 into each item. That was how much I paid for each sellable item. And so I made a profit of $8.84 on that. These like very basic Nike activewear tops for men or women, but especially for men, they will sell, like no matter what. They will sell. They'll sell pretty quickly. They probably won't sell for like too much. So I was happy to list it and sell it for a handful of dollars. It wasn't something that sat around for very long. And I'm okay with making a few bucks here and there. On Wednesday, which was April 6th, I had one eBay sale, and it was this Young Bucks Bullet Club black pro wrestling graphic t-shirt in a size large. Again, I probably would have passed on this at the store, but it sold for $17.99 on eBay. I had $1.02 into it because it came from the big reseller buyout from the local reseller, so I made a profit of $13.86 on that sale. I don't know, there's something really fun and exciting about getting a bunch of stuff, especially things that you would not have purchased on your own, and taking a chance on them and listing them and learning about, whether for this it was about pro wrestling or whether it's a brand, just learning about things that maybe you would not have taken the time to learn yourself because those are things that you would not have purchased on your own if you were outsourcing. So there's something kind of fun and cool and exciting about that. And it's kind of like that $1.02 that I paid for that cost of goods. I'm also like paying for the education to learn about those pieces, if that makes sense. So, again, I know it's not the $20 of profit that I want to be making, but I'm willing to pay for the education. And, there were some sales here and there that were bigger that I did make that $20 of profit on coming up. But yeah, I'm okay with making $8 here, $10 here, $13 there. It's all exciting to me because it's money. On Thursday, which was April 7th, I had one Poshmark sale, broke my Poshmark drought. It was this Nike full zip heather gray fleece summit jacket in a size medium for women. This sold for $34. This also came from the bulk reseller buyout, so I had $1.02 into it. This was also a Posher VA sale, so I had $1.72 shipping discount on that item. So I made a profit of $24.46. That's a $20 plus profit. That's what I'm looking for. And this came from the same, reseller buyout. So some of those pieces are smaller dollar profits, but some of them are in that $20 to $25 profit range that I'm looking for. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. I was really excited about this sale. It also came from the reseller buyout, so I only had $1.02 into this, but it was an Aritzia Wilfred black Lolita faux leather skirt in a size 2. This sold for $49.99, which was my full asking price. I got a lot of much lower comps on that, but I held my ground because that's about where this was comping. Obviously, there were some lower sales for this same exact piece as well, but I also saw some for that $50 range, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get 50 if I'm patient. So about a month or two later, I did get that full price sale that I was hoping for, so I made a profit of $40.75 on that piece. I do not find a lot of Aritzia in my area, but like I said earlier, this was a part of that big reseller lot when I purchased, someone's inventory, and she said this was actually something that she had not sourced, but it was something that her daughter wore while she was waitressing, and she just kind of threw it in there when she was giving me all of her stuff. It was just kind of like on top of all the piles of clothes. So I'm very happy for that afterthought of a piece because it net me $40.75. The next thing to sell, this sold 3 times. On the 3rd time, it finally stuck. I got positive feedback and I knew that it wasn't going to get returned to me. And you're going to figure out very quickly here why it kept getting returned. It was a Hoka single left shoe. The style was the Gaviota, I don't know. It was a leather running shoe in a women's size 7.5. I found this at the Indianapolis Goodwill outlet, which is affectionately known as the bins. They have just huge blue tubs that you basically, reach into and you just kind of rifle through looking at all of the stuff. And I had found this Hoka shoe, just the one shoe, and I had it in my cart and I looked all over for the other shoe as well. And before I left the bins that day, I forgot to take the shoe out and throw it back in. I also, have been okay with having one shoe and trying to sell one shoe, but man, this shoe sold 2 times and got returned 2 times to me because people were like, I did not realize that this was just the one shoe. Y'all, I put in caps that it was one shoe, single shoe, left shoe. Like I put all that information in the title. I put it in the description, and people were like, I did not know. And I have returns allowed in my eBay store because I don't want people to be stuck with stuff that they don't really want. And if someone really didn't want one shoe, what are they going to do with one shoe, right? So it did finally sell. The sale stuck. It sold for $11.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers, and I had $1.66 into that. That was my cost of goods for that particular Indianapolis Goodwill outlet trip. So I finally made my profit of $9.13 on that item after it got returned to me 2 times before this. I don't think I'm going to pick up single shoes anymore. I will say on that trip, I picked up 2 single shoes. The other one was an on-cloud shoe. And that one, it sold, the one time. It got accepted. I, got my money. But man, this Hoka, it went to 3 different houses before it finally stuck. I feel like if I accidentally bought one shoe, I would just keep it because I'd be embarrassed to tell the person that I didn't read the description or the title very carefully. I would be that one person that'd be like, what? This is one shoe? And then I'd look at the title and be like, that's my bad. And I would just take it to Goodwill because I have no need for one shoe, right? But that was a saga. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari. This was a quintessential Y2K piece. This is like what all the cool kids are selling. I happened to get it in my bulk mixed rescue box from ThredUp. It was this pair of cachet Y2K ivory floral printed satin wide waistband flare pants in a size 0. I would not be surprised if Britney Spears herself or Christina Aguilera didn't wear this in the 90s, in the 2000s, in a music video or at the MTV Music Awards at some point. Like, this is exactly the kind of stuff that they were wearing. It got a decent amount of attention on places like Depop and really everywhere, but it finally sold on Mercari of all places for $39. I had $2 into it because, like I said, it came in that rescue box, so I made a profit of $31.67. I don't feel like I have the best eye for the Y2K type stuff, for the euphoria look. Really, all I have to do is think about what did I wear when I was in high school? But I don't know, I don't get excited about picking that stuff up, especially because I'm just scared that it's not going to do well. And I don't have a lot of faith in Depop as a platform for me personally. But even on Poshmark, it's not a lot of that kind of stuff has been selling for me, but we'll see. I mean, if I can find it for cheap, I will definitely pick that stuff up. I also have not gone sourcing in a very long time because of the fact that I've been doing these big bulk buys recently. But when I do get back in the sourcing game, which will be very soon here, I'm excited to dip my toe into the Y2K game, and we'll see what I come up with. But yeah, let me know how it's been going for you. If you've been finding a lot of that euphoria Y2K 90s style, and if it's been selling well for you. I'm very curious. I know a lot of people have really kind of shifted their attention to focusing on that, but I don't know. I don't have a lot in my possession, and even those which I thought, man, these are going to sell instantly, they kind of took, they took a couple months. So moving on to Friday, which was April 8th, on Poshmark, I had a few sales, the first being this pair of Chico's blue and white railroad, that's a hard word to say, striped linen pants in a size 12. I had a lot of faith in these pants because they were linen, they were that railroad stripe, and they were a bigger size. And they did not disappoint. They sold for $25. Believe it or not, I only picked those up for $1 at a local consignment store because they were doing a sidewalk sale. I bought so much stuff, and it's all this kind of bread and butter, Chico's, Talbots, soft surroundings, all that kind of stuff. So I made a profit of $19 on those pants. Love to see it. The next thing to sell came from the same consignment store, but I did not get it on Dollar Day. I paid way too much for this dress, but it was this Matilda Jane Tallulah, that was the style name, Secret Fields knit ruched sleeve dress in a size medium. This one sold for $34, which is great. That's a good price. I did offer discounted shipping on it using Posher VA. By the way, if you are interested in trying out Posher VA yourself, because you would like to get some of your life back and not get carpal tunnel like me, sitting there sharing your closet, sending out offers to likers, doing all of that jazz, then I suggest trying out Posher VA. I do have a coupon code that you can use down in the description below. It is just Becky Park, and it allows you to save 20% off of your first payment, which is huge. So if you want to try it out, I do have that link down below. I had $14.10 into this dress. That's too much to be paying for Matilda Jane, like way too much. And I think that was my average cost of goods for that trip. So I like to think I didn't actually have $14.10 into this particular dress, but also I've had this in my possession for months, like close to a year at this point probably, which is unacceptable. So yeah, not the amount that you need to be paying for Matilda Jane. So I made a profit of $11.38, which isn't bad. It's just that I didn't need to pay that much for this dress. The next thing to sell was this Land's End white eyelet pleated sleeveless dress in a size 2. So if you think holding on to a Matilda Jane dress for close to a year is bad, then this is really bad, because I've had this for almost almost 2 years, because I got this, oh my gosh, is it even longer? I don't know. I've had this for so long. I got this at the height of like the stay-at-home era of our lives, because I worked out a deal with a local consignment store where they let me shop by myself in their storage unit. That way I didn't have to be around other people, but they were able to make some money, and I just got like a ton of stuff, like over 1,000 pieces. And my cost of goods came out to 80 cents a piece, which was great. This sold for $15. I made a profit of $11.20. It just took too long, like 2 years, which is a long time. And then over on eBay, I sold this pair of White House Black Market Bermuda cuffed denim shorts in a size 2. These I got for free from a friend of mine, again, also during the height of COVID. I remember she dropped off like bags and bags and bags of clothes, which is really exciting. I believe I sent these into ThreadUp. ThreadUp wasn't able to sell them, so I got them back and listed them myself. And finally, they sold for $19.90, but I made pure profit of $17.19 because no cost of goods. My friend, gave those to me for free. The next thing to sell was another Land's End piece, but this was a men's piece. It was a blue plaid Sale Rigger Oxford traditional fit button-up shirt in a size extra large tall, which is great. Anytime you've got, a men's piece that's in a bigger size, like extra large, but also in a taller length, that is always really great. Those tend to sell a little bit faster and for a little bit more money. So this button-up shirt sold for $21.90. That was the offer that I sent out to watchers. I only had $1.02 into this because it was something that I got from that big bulk buy that I did from the local reseller who no longer wanted to resell. A lot of her stuff sold this week, and she really was a good picker. Like, she found really good stuff. She's from my area, so she found a lot of bread and butter stuff, but stuff that sold for, a decent amount, and it's stuff that's selling pretty quickly. So I think that was a really good buy. I'm really happy with it and pleased with how the pieces are doing. So I made a profit of $17.50 off of that button-up shirt. I hate button-up shirts, so it felt really good to get this one out of my house. On Saturday, April 9th, I only had 2 sales, and they were both eBay sales. So another $0 sales day for me on Poshmark. Y'all know that Poshmark has just been testing me. It's like a preteen, like, entering into her teenager years where she is just testing the waters, like just pushing all of my buttons. I'm sticking with her though, and I do have a video about why that I will link right here, and I'll have it linked down in the description below as well, just kind of explaining why, even though Poshmark really is out here pissing me off, I'm standing by her for the time being, and the reasons are in that video, so you can check it out. But eBay has been stepping up in a huge way, maybe not so much in this week, although this week eBay did beat Poshmark. That's what I'm saying. Like, Poshmark she's really out here testing me, but eBay is stepping up in a very big and real way. So the first sale, actually both of these sales went to the same person. These were not big, impressive sales by any means, but these were 2 sales that I was ecstatic to get out of my house. The first one being because I have probably had this shirt in my possession for 3 years. We're talking super unacceptable. We do not want to hold on to pieces for 3 years, but we're finally moving some of these older pieces out. So this was a Mark Wear 100% linen button-up shirt with just like an interesting print in a size medium. this should have sold a long time ago. I don't know what the issue was. It's 100% linen. Mark Ware is not like a super desirable brand or anything like that, but I don't know. I don't know what the issue was. It sold for $10 finally, and it was promoted at 3%. I'm saying I had about $3 into it. I feel like I got it at this thrift store that I used to go to back in the day, and they would have these like bag sales on Saturdays, and I would get things for like 25 cents because it'd be like fill a bag for $25. But yeah, I made a profit of $6.63 on that when all was said and done. Lord have mercy. The next thing to sell went to the same person, and I would not have accepted this price for this item except for the fact that she'd already bought something, and also like it's not like this was worth that much more. So the item was this BDG, which is an Urban Outfitters house brand. It was this short sleeve denim mini dress in a size small. Very basic, very simple. She sent me an offer of $7. I think I countered with like $19.99 or something. I don't know. And then she came back with 10 and was like, I already bought something else from you. You can just ship this with it, like, please. And I was like, fine. Like, fine, you can have it. And I made my profit of $9.13. And I was happy letting go of it for that price because I believe this is also something that I got from that consignment store when I did that big bulk buy. So I only had 80 cents into it, but I've had it for so long, like 2 years at this point. So, it's better to just make my money, move on, and make smarter investments and choices as far as what I pick up for the future. So yeah, I get those things out of my house. She left me positive feedback for both pieces. So, we had a happy ending on those pieces. We just needed to wrap it up and move on. So moving on to the last day of sales that we'll talk about, which is Sunday, April 10th. I had one Poshmark sale. I believe this was a closet clear out sale. I do this whole thing on closet clear out days to, try and make some sales, and I will link that video here and down in the description as well. But the sale was this Marvel Avengers gray superheroes graphic t-shirt in a size medium. This one I got, you guessed it, from the big bulk buy that I did from the local reseller. So it sold for $15. I only had $1.02 into it because that was my average cost of goods. And so I made a profit of $10.98. And this wasn't listed for a super long time. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. It was another pair of dress pants. This was by Ann Taylor. Is that who the last pair was by as well? No, the last pair was the limited. This was Ann Taylor. It was a pair of black low-rise dress pants in a size 4. Those sold for $19.99. They were promoted at 3%. They were also from the local reseller buyout, so I had $1.02 into those. I made a profit of $16.53. I do have unboxing. I think I have one unboxing video from the local reseller, and I will link that video down below if you want to see all of the stuff that she gave me. I actually don't think I showed everything. I just did kind of like the last half after I had already processed the first half of stuff because I was like, this is good stuff. Like, I should show you guys what kind of stuff I bought off of her. So if you want to see, I'll have that link down below. The next thing to sell was this pair of new with tags, cool Rebel classic fit tapered khaki pants in a men's size 40 by 34. Those sold for $74.99, which was my full asking price. Those were promoted at 3%. I had $26.39 into those, and so I made a profit of $35.53. I have talked about Cool before, and I have talked about my experience going to a local store that sells a lot of like outdoorsy brands and buying a lot of Cool pants from there. They sell brands like Cool and Patagonia and Arc'teryx, those kinds of very like high quality outdoor brands. And for whatever reason, their Cool pants always go on like super clearance. So not too long ago, they were having their huge sidewalk sale, and I went in hopes that they would have their Cool clearance down the way that they typically do, and I was not disappointed. So I think I was able to snag like maybe 8 or 10 pairs of Cool pants, and they have started selling, which is super exciting. And usually on those pants, I make a profit of like $30 to $40, which is great. It's super exciting. So very excited to have a few more of those in my inventory. The next thing to sell is like the opposite kind of sale, super not exciting or impressive, but it was by the brand Anichi. I think that's how you say it. It was this blue short sleeve collared button up shirt in a size large. This is something that was in the local reseller buyout. So again, I only had $1.02 into it. That shirt sold for my full asking price on eBay of $17.99. So I made a profit of $14.23. I would never have picked that up at the store, but it's kind of cool to learn, like, it'll sell, right? Like, who would have known? The next thing to sell was this Uniqlo Hokusa blue graphic pocket short sleeve t-shirt in a size small. This I believe I got from my brother for free. It sold for $11. I made a profit of $8.96. It did take like close to a year to sell though. So it's not like you need to fight with someone at the Goodwill bins over this shirt. Like, you could do without. It's totally fine. And then the last thing to sell was over on Facebook Marketplace. This was a direct sale. Someone in my town reached out to me about this Chicago Cubs World Championship t-shirt in a size youth large. When did they win the championship? Was it like 2016? I think it was. So it had like the year and the fact that they were world champs, which, everyone was waiting for it to happen. It took like 100 years or something. But I think I got that for free from someone. I had it listed for like 15. I've had it listed for forever. So he was like, would you sell it for $5? And I was like, sure, you can have it for $5. He came to my house. I gave it to him for $5. I was $5 richer as a result. So let's talk about my numbers. I had someone ask in my last What's Sold video, and she said, you usually share like your gross sales numbers and how much you had to pay for shipping and all that kind of stuff, and you haven't been doing that in the past couple of videos. I actually liked hearing all those numbers. I haven't been sharing them just because I've been doing like 2 weeks worth of sales in my last few What's Sold videos because I've just not been really good about staying on top of these. But when I do just like 1 week, I tend to give you all the information. So I'll give you all that information now. So on Poshmark, I sold 10 items, which is pretty stinky. I've been sharing in these What's Sold videos that usually I sell like 20 to 25 pieces on Poshmark a week. So 10 is about half of what I'm used to. Poshmark is just not delivering for me the way that she used to, but, I'm sticking by her, like I said. So my gross sales amount on Poshmark for the week was $208. Once you factor in shipping discounts and Poshmark's 20% fees, that total drops to $160.69. My cost of goods for those 10 items was $34.73. And so my net profit, the amount that hit my bank account from Poshmark, was $125.96. On eBay, I sold 13 items. That's 3 more than Poshmark. And I made $304.55 as my gross sales. Once you factor in eBay's fees and any shipping discrepancies where maybe I didn't charge enough and I had to pay a little bit more myself, that total drops to $260.66. My cost of goods over on eBay was $39.77. And so my net profit was $220.89 on eBay. Almost $100 more than Poshmark. This is why I think, especially with Poshmark, making all these adjustments and stuff, and even with, eBay will go through some weird things, Mercari will go through things. That's why I believe in cross-listing. I know it's not for everyone, and I'm not here to tell you that like if you are not cross-listing, you're not a good reseller. Everyone has their own opinion of how they want to run their business, but that's why I cross-list. I cross-list so that if one platform is acting up, I'm not like completely screwed. I have other platforms that will hopefully pick up the slack, or at least, that I'll be making sales on. And that way it's not a complete bust for the week or for the month or whatever. For me, I use a Chrome extension called List Perfectly to cross list because, man, they just make it so easy and simple. And not only that, but that's also what I use as my inventory management system. And List Perfectly is very soon going to release an update where when something sells on one platform, it will automatically delete that listing from your other platforms as well. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. I am so excited. I am so hyped for this update, and it is promised to be coming out very soon. So, so excited. But yeah, if you want to try List Perfectly so that you can start cross-listing as well to a variety of other platforms, I will leave my coupon code and link down below. If you use the coupon code Becky Park, you can save 30% off of your first month. And the thing that I love most about List Perfectly is that I've been with them now for, I don't know, it's been like 3 years or something, and not once has the price gone up. They keep making all of these great updates. They keep adding platforms that you can cross-list to. Their price has not changed. It's amazing. So the next platform that we'll talk about, not super impressive, but over on Mercari, I sold 2 things. The week after was a good Mercari week, I'll say that much. But my gross sales amount was $54. Once you factor in Mercari's fees, because I have all Mercari buyers pay for shipping, but once you factor in their fees, that total dropped to $46.43. My cost of goods for those 2 items was $5.92, and so I made a net profit of $40.51. On Facebook Marketplace, I sold 2 items for a gross sales amount of $45. I definitely did bad math there. So on Facebook Marketplace, I actually made $35, not $45. I'm going to see if I can manually do this math later, but I think the rest of this was right. Once you factor in Facebook Marketplace's fees, that total drops to $33.06. I had $1.02 into those 2 items because one was from the buyout and one was something that I was given for free. So I made a profit of $32.04 on Facebook Marketplace. So in total, I sold 27 items for a gross sales amount of $601.55. I believe that is now the correct math. Once you factor in all of the fees and shipping discounts, that total drops to $500.84. My cost of goods for those 27 items was $81.44. And so my net profit for the week was $419.40, about half of what my goal is for the week. So we're still not doing really well. A lot of that is me just not doing as much as I would like to with reselling. A lot of that is the economy. A lot of that is changes on the Poshmark app. It's a lot of different things. It's a lot of contributing factors, and all things that I have no control or power over. I have no control or power over the fact that things, get busy at work. I've got busy seasons. I have no control over the economy or inflation. So while I could freak out and I could get really upset and I could complain and I could do all these things, I'm not going to sweat the stuff that I have no power over, because I have no power over those things. Even if I were to sit here and complain and do all those things, it's not going to change the fact that there's just a lot going on in the world. That's just how it is. And so instead, I'm going to focus my energy into, when I have pockets of time, doing what I can for my reselling business. It is kind of exciting because things seem to be getting a little bit better. Hopefully you are noticing that trend yourself. People seem to be buying a little bit more. I feel like I've just got a little bit more momentum in my stores. So hopefully that continues, and hopefully you are experiencing that as well. Let me know down in the comments below how it's been. But yeah, those were my sales for that first week of April. There's probably going to be a lot more of these What Sold videos coming your way because, like I said, I have a lot of catching up to do when it comes to these What Sold videos. But as always, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me and spending your time with me, because I know you could be doing a lot of other things. I really appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, I'd super duper appreciate if you could hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!